So it's been a while. I have been called to do my work in other places, just do some work in other arenas, and I didn't honestly know when I would be posting a video again. But this morning, I woke up with a verse or a line from Isaiah 11:6 from the King James Bible in my head. And it was the line that is, "And the little child shall lead them." And it's the one that talks about the wolves lying down with the lambs and wolves, not wolves. And it says, "And a little child shall lead them." And when I woke up, I got this thing about that being the little child within yourself leading you, and how the path, the soul path, is led by that little child within you, the one that you have been doing so much work now to heal and to reconnect with and to understand and to guide and guard and nurture in ways that maybe didn't happen. So the little child shall lead them. And then I just got the guidance that I was to do a reading. So that's all I know. I've told you everything I know. You're up to speed. And now we're just going to pull some cards and see what comes out. So I'm excited to see what comes out for this group, synchronistically drawn to this reading. If you're watching this message is for you. It does not matter when you're watching it. And if it resonates, it's for you. If it doesn't resonate, that's okay. It's not for you. Okay, so first card coming out, Energy Oracle, Sandra and Taylor. First card. Rest and rejuvenation. This is a 10, which is a 1, which is a new beginning. And I'm feeling with these energies right now, you know, we are in what some call an eclipse sandwich between several planetary events. We have the eclipse, lunar eclipse coming up Friday. We have the blood moon coming up very shortly after. And we're in the midst of some other things, Mercury retrograde, and certainly some intense energies as far as the collective goes, and this journey of growth and like we were just talking about, emotional healing and all of that, emotional spirit healing, clearing emotional blocks, I should say. So this is talking about that. This is talking about this time of going within and connecting and really getting to your center, which is what you're doing right now. And this being a 10, which is a 1, which is a new beginning, is you really have ended the old. You really have ended the old. And this truly is a new beginning. It could not feel more new. It could not feel more unknown in a good way, right? And so what's sustaining you now is this. This is 7, which is your divine guidance. And this, I always see as a mixture of your spirit guides and your earthly guides. So this is your friends that you connect with, truly connect with on a soul level. And your soul connections on earth, represented by this red. And you are finding more and more of these. It's like you're connecting with people and you're like, I'm not even sure how we connected in the physical, but here we are. And you're getting together in these groups. And this is as intended, because you're being moved forward in your soul purpose, and you're going to continue to be aligned with those that you're going to do this work with, that you're going to continue this path with in this brand new beginning. And then in the white, that is representing your your spirit guides, your spiritual guides, whoever you see that as, or just divine energy, and you're receiving this guidance, these synchronicities, these messages on this journey. So now it's another 7 for divine guidance. It adds up to patience is required. Patience, but not much more patience, because there is definitely a tipping point coming. So you see here the frozenness, the iciness, but you also see the clock in the middle, and that is just on fire. It's heated up. And this sense of melting, this sense of movement. And also I'm seeing, you know, this may be what your physical surroundings feel like they're frozen, like even though you are at this new start point, maybe your physical world doesn't feel like it's caught up to you yet, and it probably hasn't, but the time is coming, and this is what's within you. This is what's within you, that sense of your soul time. So time in the physical world is probably, for you, you know, really beginning to lose its grip, its meaning. And it's, you know, you're going back in time, you're going forward in time, you're in this moment, and it's all the same. If you're going through that, then that just made sense. So then we have the journey. It is a 2 for balance, inner union. Moving forward, again, in this completely open energy. And here, leaving any baggage behind, leaving anything that is just no longer needed. And, you know, there was a time when you thought you needed these things, and now you're like, I really don't. All I need is just what I'm carrying in my hands, and this light, and moving forward. And, you know, you do have to keep your balance. It is, you know, it is a narrow bridge, a narrow path, and it is a bridge from your old life to this new. And I just heard that again, or envisioned that again, and a little child shall lead them. So, you know, you are being led by that bright light, you know, this little light of mine. That's what's leading you. This little light of mine that is divine. In the midst of that, whatever the darkness is, or the frozenness, or whatever's surrounding you, you've got that light, and that child shall lead you. So this is the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Another 10, which is a 1, Unfinished Symphony. So this card always, to me, I get the same image of going back, again, going back to that younger version of yourself and getting to pick up where you left off then. And so there's an image also that comes to mind. I'm going to mix some metaphors here because this is an unfinished symphony, talking about that, you know, music of you, of your life. But the image I always get is it's as if you, at some point, as you were growing, as your life was, you know, happening, at some point earlier in life, you kind of kicked your young self out of the car. You're like, okay, get out of the car. On the side of the road, in the middle of nowhere, you know. And that younger self got out, and then you just took off. You know, as we all felt we had to do in life, you know, you just took off, and you went forward on that path that your mind believed was the necessary path, the one of the ego, the one of the fears, the one of the mind, the one of the trying to do what was expected, what you expected yourself to do, what others expected you to do, what you were told you were supposed to do. And, you know, the other day I caught myself saying to my child, you know, do you want to be that? Do you want to be that when you grow up? And he said, I just want to be a little boy. And I had to catch myself and go, oh, my bad. You're right. You are right. Like, I was doing that conditioned thing, and then I was, you know, sending it on to him. And thank God he was like, no, not going to take that, thanks. So that now is the time with this, that you're going back down that road. That I don't care if it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, you're going back down that road and you are finding that younger version of yourself. And you're saying, okay, get in the car. Get in the car. We're going to go where you have always wanted to go now. And it makes me emotional every time I think about it. Every time I think about that, you know, younger version of yourself and what that feels like, getting in the car and reconnecting and going in the direction of that place that they always wanted to go. But that you kind of kicked them out of the car and said, no, we can't go there. I'm going where I have to go, right? So now everybody's in the car going to that destination, and the little child shall lead them. And there is abundance. And it's right there. You have it now. The abundance is there. Everything you need to go there is on your back. May not be able to see it because you're going forward and it's, you know, this turtle can't see this abundance, but it is there. The fact is it's there. And as soon as he hits that shore, he's going to be able to see that, you know, and have it and, you know, be in it. So just knowing that abundance is there, you have to align with that and know it's there, even though you may not be able to see it right now, because it is, and it is yours. It's very real. Just because you can't see it with your eyes and experience it with your senses does not mean it's not real. It's very real. Just because we're not there yet doesn't mean the destination's not real, right? If you're going somewhere and you're not there yet, doesn't mean that place doesn't exist. You're just headed there, just like this. So this is focusing on that destination, only that destination. This fox, not looking at anything around him. He's only focusing on that one point. So the message here is to focus on that one point, that destination, that place, that finishing of the symphony. And this adds up to a 4, which is a home, joy, stability. Okay? How beautiful. Okay, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Okay? And I hope you'll let me know if it resonates for you. It really means a lot to me when you do. So the Fates has come out. And this is an 8 for connection, for abundance. A lot of messages about abundance in this spread. This card specifically is about the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the wisdom to change the things I know, the courage. I always get them mixed up. Okay. Serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Thank you. I know you knew. So this is that. This is letting go of the things that you can't change and having the courage to change the things you can, to focus on the things you can. She's blindfolded here. She's blindfolded here. So having the courage to go within and really focus on those things you can change, because everything you can change is within you. That's what you can change. So as you're focusing on the other people, as you're, you know, these things are happening around you, it's having the serenity, like that very first card with the going within, breathing, the serenity to accept those things you cannot change. And then the courage to change the things you can, to let that younger version of yourself in the car and say, this is what we can do. And the wisdom to know the difference. Yep. Okay. So let's see what else. Gorgeousness, amazingness. So this is the Divine Feminine and Masculine deck, which I love, by Christabel Jessica. Goddess of Strength. Mary Magdalene. Wow. Mary Magdalene, Goddess of Strength. Mary Magdalene. So, to be the support she was for Jesus, that was a lot of strength. That was a lot of strength. To have that kind of love, to have that kind of ability. And strength comes from loving. No, strength comes from being loved. Courage comes from loving. So the courage to change the things you can, that comes from loving divinely. Strength comes from being loved divinely. Strength comes from being loved divinely. So it's God's love strengthening you. Yep. And the goddess of power, Lilith. So this focusing on receiving your strength from God's love is giving you power. She's the serpent and the apple from the Garden of Eden. Been getting a lot of Garden of Eden things this week too, these past few days. That we are, oh, thank you. So this is that, okay. So Garden of Eden, okay, see the serpent, see the apple. She is coming into this power, okay? She has power over the serpent, and she has the apple, the wisdom to know the difference. So this is talking about return to Eden, okay? And coming into that strength from the divine love and that power from the divine knowing, from that reconnection from the wisdom. Call just came in and shut off my video, but I needed to turn on the light anyway, so that was a good opportunity. So that Lilith, that goddess of power, okay, so that's talking about the reconnection to Eden, to, you know, the innocence of Eden, and that is exactly like what came out earlier in the reading, the getting in the car with your younger self, your inner child, the child shall lead them. So there is such a message in this reading and in everything I've been receiving about reconnecting to that innocence. Reconnecting to that innocence, and that's what's leading you in this new beginning. It is a return to innocence in the spirit sense. Wow, okay. And in that, there's power. In that, there's power of that purity. So this is another 8 for abundance, for connection. And this is selfhood. This is focusing on your power, focusing on, again, with that goddess of power, focusing on you, you as this embodiment of, you know, divine light, divine energy, your own true inner self. Your pure self, with no blocks and no filters, right? Okay. And finally, goddess of magic, Isis. It's a 3. 3 is the Holy Trinity of balance within yourself, and then the divine energy of God empowering you. So you have here, I mean, this is really cool. That wisdom, that power, that magic. So this is the divine energy coming through you, just like we just said. And this is what's making it possible to see those truths of your soul, those things come into fruition. This is what's making the return possible and the new beginning possible, is you being in alignment with that divine energy. That's what alchemizes everything, makes that transformation possible, that transformation. This is the shadow aspect. So this is bringing all the shadows into light. It's a 5 for change. So that's what makes all of that possible, all of that change possible, coming into the light. And then you're aligned with your pure, true essence, with God, and the little child shall lead them. I just keep hearing. So another 5, Kali. Okay, so as those shadows are brought to light, goddess of destruction. So this is kind of like the tower, and she's in red, showing this being what's, you know, required in the physical. Yeah. Because, you know, to return to innocence, to return to Eden, to do that return, everything that has been created out of what's false has to be destroyed. Has to be, destroyed is harsh, but you know, courage to change the things you can, right? And then allow that change to be reflected in your physical world. Yeah. And although this may, you know, in some cases even feel like destruction, it may feel like demolition, just, you know, you're anchored, you're centered in that inner essence. So you know that you can handle it, you can do it, whatever is required. Yeah. Okay, so for each element, if you're an air sign, earth sign, fire sign, water sign, well, you're one of those, I'm going to pull a divine oracle message, or divine circus oracle message for you. This is the divine circus deck. I'm going to get the book because I don't know all the meanings of these. Okay. So the divine circus oracle, and we're going to start with air. So for air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Rooster Mama. It's a 7 for divine guidance. I am going to look this one up. I remember it being about empowerment of some type. Let me see. Inner empowerment. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Rooster Mama is her own person. See, so it's like that goddess of power, that selfhood card. Sorry about the glare. She's a rebel, a maverick, a renegade, an offbeat individual who dances to her own rhythms. She is the authentic eccentric. I love Rooster Mama. And I'm an air sign. I just realized. She's an authentic, I'm just enjoying this with you. If I could just enjoy this with you. Other air signs. She's an authentic eccentric who doesn't fall in with the plans other people make for her, but creates her own consciousness with optimism and flair for self-expression. She says you're unique, positive, and rebellious too. You're being encouraged to break with tradition, even your own traditions. It's time to shake things up, redefine yourself, even if that means letting things go a bit wild in the henhouse for a while. She reminds you to be bold, to be proud, and strut your stuff. I like it. Okay, air signs. Remember the Rooster Mama. So, next is fire signs. Oracle message for fire signs. Thank you. Maven of Masks, 44. 4 being that number of home, joy, stability. Okay. Who do you want to be? Try that self on for size. You might just discover another genuine facet of you beyond your known identity. This card tells you to act as you wish to be, and so you shall be. Okay. So if you want to discover new qualities in you, you're going to have to start somewhere. Believe, first of all, that you have undiscovered depths and diversity in you. So this is Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, fire signs. It's about determining who you are. This is, again, about aligning with that pure self, that true self, and then allowing that to be you in the physical world, allowing that to align with your physical world self, allowing that to be shown. Because I'm getting for you, fire signs, your true self, it's like a precious, precious commodity, you know? It's a precious commodity that hasn't been shown to many. And now you're determining just how fully you want to live that true self, because it's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so now earth signs. Earth signs. Okay. Earth signs. Bright baby. 40. So also home, joy, stability. This one's about coming into the light, stepping into the light, allowing yourself to be in the light. Simple truths will help you most right now. Complexity is the mind at work, whereas the heart sees with astoundingly accurate simplicity. Don't worry about the details, the hows and wheres and whys. Those answers will come in time. For now, all you need to do is get back to the basics of what is true. And for you, that means stepping into the light. So Capricorn, I think I was making it go in the light while I was saying that. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Step into the light, bright baby. Let me see, what else? This brings you confirmation that a blinding flash of clarifying insight is on the way. Make sure you don't discount the insight as being too obvious or simple. Often the answer you need is right under your nose, waiting to be discovered, and also as plain as the nose on your face. So this is just allowing the light to show you the truth and releasing the idea that the truth has to be complex. Because the truth can be very simple, and the more the truer something is, the more simple it sounds. Okay, so water signs. Okay, so sorry about that. Water signs, which is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This is Maven of Masks, which is a 44, which is the one that the fire signs got. So with the fire signs, I got the sense of protectiveness, because again, this is about choosing who you want to be, choosing who you want to present to the world as your true self, how you want to present that to the world. With the fire signs, I sense some protectiveness about their true selves, because it is so precious and guarded. With you, I sense more of a commitment type of issue, where it's like, well, maybe I don't want to have to decide, you know, the direction. Okay, so I'm just seeing if there's anything else from the book. You're like a bird who has yet to fly. It's in you, but you have to have faith first and act as if you do. The bird who's never flown has it in him to fly, but he has to make the leap of faith to realize this for himself. And this is something that's true for you and everyone, which is you have to believe it, and then you're going to see it, both in yourself and in the external. So it's about not seeing and then believing, but believing and then seeing. And you are. And okay, sorry, just a couple little interruptions and things. So it's the believing before seeing. As above, so below, as within, so without. So thank you. I really love this reading, and I hope you'll let me know how it resonates for you, and we'll connect again soon. Bye.